time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh, Santa's on his way. Hip hip hooray for Christmas vacation.
Welcome to the InstantCast, presented by the Pewtercast. I am Brent Allen, your host, joined as always by Ren Daxt, my co-host. Ren, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. How are you?
Man, I am worn out. Absolutely worn out. It is the end of one of those weeks for me where I'm basically a single parent for the entire week. And to those people out there who are single parents all the time, my hats are off to you. I don't understand. Like it's you do what you got to do. I get it, but oh my gosh. And came up here tonight to the studio / my office / we use it for a couple other things. Apparently the kids have been up here and everything was a wreck. And buttons were pressed and knobs were turned and like nothing worked. And like even my mouse, like for my computer, the little wireless mouse, dead, like absolutely dead. And
because it's Apple,
because it has a battery that dies sometimes and it doesn't have a wire.
I don't know, Brent. I don't know.
I got this new computer back in like July or something like that. It's the first time I've ever had to charge the mouse. So currently it's sitting at like 5%. But anyway, nobody wants to hear about my computer woes. But we are here starting a little bit late tonight. I mean, gosh, look at me. Like, I'm not even like ready for the show. I'm not even dressed. Audio people can't see that. Only the guys on YouTube. So I want to say hello to everybody watching us on YouTube. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy, I don't know, whatever you celebrate this time of year. Or if nothing else, happy Sunday night to you guys. And to everybody over in the Mixler chat room, hello to you as well. Glad you guys are joining us. And Ren, we're 2 days before Christmas. Christmas Eve. Is this Festivus? Festivals?
I don't know.
I think that's today. I don't know who all celebrates that or not, or if anybody ever.
No one celebrates that.
There are some people that I think actually do. I'm not sure, but lots of stuff going on out there. But we are here nonetheless. We've got a Buccaneers game to talk about today, Ren.
We do. Hi.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Yeah. Well, let's see. What happened today in the Buccaneers game? Probably exactly. I felt like it was just a game I've seen for the past 3 years. You know, move the ball, don't score in the red zone. Offense shoots itself in the foot with the costly turnovers. Like both of those were basically just like scoop sixes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one went for a score and the other one went down to inside the 5, like to the 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like bad turnovers, bad offensive line play. The defense actually looked pretty good. I'd like to nominate Brent Grimes for effort, the U.S. Naval Academy Effort Award, because he is just outstanding in his run fits, and even though I've been defending him in his pass not protection, I've had his pass coverages this year. Today was not the case.
Yeah.
Brent was back in Tampa, wrapping presents in his head, thinking about other things, because as hard as I have been, you know, sort of getting on Grimes about his effort in the run game, his pass coverage was bad today, and it seems like everyone else in Twitterland caught up with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like they're like, "Oh, hey," not that, you know, like I started. Well, I did start it, but everyone saw it today. Just so effort of the year, the U.S. Naval Academy Buccaneer Effort Award. Our nominee is Brent Grimes.
Yeah. Kevin over in the chat room says that Grimes has been retired since week 1. And I may disagree with you, Kevin. He might have actually been retired since week 16 of last year. Maybe
Yeah,
even a little
remember when
sooner.
he didn't like he like he was didn't blah, blah, take that. He wasn't in training. He was at training camp, but he barely practiced.
Didn't do anything. Right.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
did a
Brent,
couple
what's wrong with you?
handstands.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. They gave me $10 million. Well, what do you want? Like, I'll be in the season. It'll be fine.
But in his defense, his pass coverage was I thought adequate, maybe even above average until. But this game, man, he just gave up on some balls. Like he gave up some plays before it started, and they ended up throwing to his guy or before they were over,
Mm-hmm.
and they threw to his guy, and it was evident. It was just. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Donovan Smith had another
This might have been
critic crunching game. He quiet his critics.
Yeah, no. This might have been one of Donovan's top 3 worst games of his career.
Okay.
It was not good. I mean, both of those fumbles, one for sure. I went back and looked at the second one. I think the second one also came off of Donovan as well. It was not good. Not good at all. Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about his
Yeah.
It's consistency. And when we say consistency, because one play looks great and the next play looks terrible, and the one he looks terrible, it's I don't want to keep harping the effort, but he doesn't play to the whistle. Like where Jameis got strip sacked, he just thought Jameis was in the pocket, so he pushes a guy past him and he starts just shutting it down. You know, like, okay, Jameis is supposed to be over here off my left shoulder, but he didn't. He extended the play. And you hear him, on back in the radio show and with the Allie and Donovan show now, it's on, it's recorded and you can watch it on Buccaneers.com. You hear him say things like play to the echo of the whistle, and he never, ever does. And he keeps saying it like, oh, yeah, you're supposed to play to the echo of the whistle. That's what we're going to do. That's us. And he never does it. And then he goes out on Twitter and yells at people for banging on his play.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I get it. You want to defend yourself, but I mean, good night. Good night.
It was a rough game for him and the offensive line in general.
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna definitely we'll talk about that. We'll dive into all of those things and more. I think as far as if I could give one opening thought before we open up the phone lines tonight, I was left with this game. And full disclosure for everybody, just so you guys know, I have not actually finished the game yet. I'm somewhere in the middle of the fourth quarter right now, as far as trying to watch the game. Just life happened around me today.
Brent has broken the space-time continuum, and he's stuck in a time loop.
It's true.
And he can't get out of halfway through the fourth quarter.
Right. I'm there with the human form replicators. So
thank God, radio waves can penetrate over all the
well, they keep the wormhole
realities open through the string theory.
Yeah, no, radio waves keep the wormhole open. As long as you're sending some form of matter, including radio waves, it'll keep the hole open. So
that's why we'll be able to talk in real time.
Yes, and that was part of the technical difficulties tonight. But anyway,
apparently breaking the space-time continuum drains my mouse battery.
That is true too. that is children and mice batteries. It just seems like
you know.
Yeah. Hey, here was my thought as I'm watching this game, and I'm realizing at some point I'm watching this game and it came across my phone. Buccaneers lose 20-27. And we hadn't quite scored that last touchdown yet, so I'm not quite sure how that last one happened. But Buccaneers lose, and I'm sitting back and I'm going, okay, we're 5-10. We could be 6-10, could be 5-11, and this is going to be the 7th double-digit loss season in the last decade. Which oddly, Jenna Lane put out a thing about that later, but I just happened to know that because I looked it up earlier. And my thought was this: how did we get here again? Like, I mean, I know, we've been covering this season covering the last 3 years.
I can tell you how.
Yeah.
But now as you step back and you look at it.
Yeah.
And well, you go back to Cutter's first season, 9-7, just missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
And here we are at 5-10.
Here we are again. Yeah. How did we do
after
this
a last
again?
5-10 season?
Yeah.
And before that, I think it was 5-10.
Yeah.
Before the 7-9 season.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like
6-10. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like yeah, I don't know, man. It's I'm all out of I'm out of gripes. I feel like Dirk Cutter at the press conference after the game.
Oh, what did he say? I haven't listened.
No, but you've heard him say. I don't know.
Answer. Yeah.
If I knew what the answer was, Brent, I'd fix it like that.
Yeah,
I would. It's a bunch of things. This week it was incredibly costly turnovers and untimely penalties on Dallas' side of the field. As soon as the Bucs crossed the 50-yard line, penalty. It was like clockwork, man.
Yeah.
Peyton Barber has biggest run of the year, penalty.
Yeah.
It's that game was Buccaneers football. You know how team need identities? Like we're a running team or we're a tough defensive team or, we're all, motion and razzle dazzle, chuck the ball around the yard. We are costly turnovers and untimely penalties.
Yeah.
That's Buccaneers football. That's it.
Yep. That's it. And here we are yet again, staring down the barrel at it. And, here. Tell you what, let's go ahead and open up the phone line, Ren. We'll let some people call in, see if they want to talk about the game. Anything you guys want to talk about. You want to talk about the game? You want to talk about
what you're buying me for Christmas?
Yeah. Hey, listen, well, you want to talk about, I don't know, where we're going on vacation next year. You want to talk about the team in general. You want to talk about Dirk Cutter, Jason Light, any of those people, please feel free to call in. That number, phone line is open. The number is 864-729-BUCS. It's 864-729-2827. Dropping it here in the chat room right now. Ren, you mentioned Peyton Barber.
Did I?
You did. And I had a thought about him. Peyton Barber's been pretty good, mostly speaking, I think. But he's not been stellar. He's not been great. But he's been good. And you've had it a few times. You say, he's going to gain you some yards, not lose you some yards. And by the way, I'm sorry. Anyone who wants to call in and interrupt us. That's how this works. If you've never done this before, this is a call-in show, 864-729-BUCS. You call in, we'll talk about anything you want. Just interrupt us. We have one phone line, so if you don't get in because somebody else is on the line, just call us back when the phone line clears. And we do remember this is a PG-13 show, which means we're not going to edit you. Just try to stay on topic, and talk logically about the Bucs. Anyway, back to Peyton Barber. I realized I was thinking this, and tell me if this is true to you or not. All right, this is a very raw, it's not really fully baked yet.
Okay.
With Doug Martin, we, especially in that last year and last 2 years, seemed like we lost more yards than we gained. We were going backwards with Doug Martin a lot of times.
Yes.
It feels like. With Peyton Barber,
he'd get a 6-yard gain, then get a 2-yard loss.
Yeah.
Then get a 2-yard gain, then get a 3-yard loss.
Yeah.
And so he'd be 4 rushes for 2 yards.
Right.
He's very Ronald Jones-esque.
Right. He just gets stopped at the line of scrimmage a lot of times or something like that. With Peyton Barber, we don't go negative, but we really don't get a ton forward either. You know what I mean? Let's bring this up. We got to call it.
I thought he didn't quite run as. This is probably the game I've ever seen Peyton Barber not fall forward the most.
Yeah.
If you let me get away with that. But again, it seems every week the run blocking gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball and had to make 2 people miss before he got to the line of scrimmage. So I kind of feel like we're going with this. I mean, yeah, can we use an upgrade at running back? Sure. But a Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, a Gurley, a Gordon, guys like that. But, the guy's playing now in Seattle, this Carson guy, he's the same thing as Peyton Barber. He's just better blocking.
Yeah. So, and that's really exactly where it's going to go. We don't have that guy that can really move the chains forward a ton in reliability. But hey, we got a caller. Let's talk to him. You are on the line with Brent and Ren. Who do we got here tonight?
Brent and Ren, how's it going? It's Kevin from Tampa.
Kevin, what's up, buddy?
Long time no hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah,
You're always
buddy.
in the chat room, though. Thanks for that.
Well, hey, I got at least grace my presence at least once this season. You haven't heard from me all year long. So I said, hey, it's Christmas. We're in the holiday mood. So guess what? I need to talk about some Buccaneers football.
There you go.
And how about the performance today?
It's a gift to all of us, buddy. It's a gift to all of us.
Oh,
Kevin, what's on your mind, buddy?
There's a lump of coal in our stocking. That's what it is. Watching Jenna Lane put out that tweet saying this is our 7th season of double-digit losses, it's just beyond mind-blowing. I think literally we've hit that point of Cleveland South. We're not trending upward. We're trending downward. That's how bad it's been over the last 10-plus seasons.
I would argue that we've been flatlined.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not going up or down. We're somewhere between 4 and 6 wins for 10 years in a row, or close to.
Yeah, we don't even know if we're going to beat Atlanta next week. I don't know. I don't know if we want to tank and get a higher draft pick, or we want to have pride and say, you know what, let's go out there and fight and give the fans something to cheer about one last time until next August.
We could have the battle of the tanks. I mean, because you're not going to imagine Atlanta's thinking the same thing right now, right? Like, what do they do? Do they go out and win? It'll be the battle for the bottom of the NFC South. Maybe the battle to not be in the battle end of the NFC South. I was thinking about that. I mean, could there be a less important game next week to the NFL than Bucs versus Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I'm like, we're like one of those 1:00 games. And like, can we just hurry up and get this game over with so we can finally figure out what's going to happen either after the game or officially on Black Monday? Because when Black Monday comes, we start hearing all the rumors of what coaches are going to be let go and who's going to stay on, and all the madness. And I know us as Bucs fans, we don't know what may happen. We know that probably Coach Cutter is gone, and after Sunday's game, we don't know the status of Jason Light. It's just a lot of unknown at this moment. And I have to say, today's game really showed me even much more frustration of how this season has gone. Watching Donovan Smith get beat by Randy Gregory and just giving up after the play and let Jameis get blasted for that fumble that was returned for a fumble 6. I was like, Donovan, you want big money in the offseason, correct? You're a free agent after the season. You're not going to get paid no big money. I don't know what team is going to watch what you did on film and say, we're going to give you 15 plus a year for your services. I don't see it.
Yeah, with Donovan Smith, one of the things we keep saying about him is, well, who are you going to replace him with? And, the truth is, I don't know. I'm not a pro football scout. I don't know everybody who's out there and who's available. But, the underlying point of saying with Donovan, like, well, who are you going to replace him with is we could continue to roll with him. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that we can, because even those 2 plays we saw today, 3 plays, because there was a sack, one of the sacks that Jameis had as well. Donovan he had 2 guys on him, and you could see him before the ball snapped. Like he was looking between both of them, like, who am I going to block? Who am I going to block? Who am I going to? And he just didn't know. And one of those 2 guys got around him and sacked Jameis. Like, and when Jameis got hurt last year, wasn't that off of a sack from Donovan? Like, there comes a point when, great, he's been available every game, but those things actually are becoming a physical harm, like liability to our quarterback, whoever it is.
Correct.
And
Correct.
Outside of who you're going to get to replace him, he may not actually be like, that may not be a choice that we have to keep him around. Possibly. It's got me wondering, at least right now.
And that's a fair point. I think I can remember when he was drafted that he was a right tackle. I would say this: if the Bucs decide to keep him, he needs to change positions. I would say Donovan we'll re-sign you, but you need to go move to the right side of the ball because obviously you're not a left tackle. I don't know what experiment that they thought saying, hey, let's bring in a right tackle, let's move him to become that premier left tackle for our quarterback has just failed completely. It has failed. I can say he's really regressed. He's not improved. Like you said, he got destroyed by Randy Gregory, and we all know Randy Gregory wasn't somewhat of a talent in college, but in NFL, that guy is a liability every week because he never stayed on the field. But he showed up today. He showed up in a big way.
Yeah, I'm still in the camp where like I like Donovan Smith's skill set. Uh, I think he has all the things you need to be a dominant left tackle in the National Football League. I just want to see him with a new coach first.
I can agree with that one too, there, Ren. But just think about it. Yeah, George Warhop, I ain't gonna even lie. I honestly want him to be purged after the game. He is awful. He's not a good run game coordinator, and as an O-line coach, his skills is terrible. I saw him last week during the game trying to chew, the line out, and when Jameis and Ryan Jensen had their little scuff up on the sideline, I was like, you have no room to sit there and sell your players, coach. You're not nowhere close to that status. You need to go back in your lane and coach. God, you are awful. He needs to be purged immediately.
Yeah, and Ren, I mean that's one of the like I hear you, and I mean I think I said the same thing last week as well. Like we got to see him with the new coach and see how he goes. But like if this was year 3 going into year 4 or 2 going into 3 or something like that, like that, then the decision's easy, right? Like you keep him around, maybe you get somebody to come in and compete. You have a new coach and you see how he develops. We're in a contract year with him right now, and so that question really comes back, like, do we re-sign him? And I mean, listen, we can all say we better not pay him top dollar money for a left tackle. They're going to pay him whatever they need to. If they want to re-sign him, they'll pay him whatever it is, and he may wind up getting top dollar. It's just going to be what it takes to re-sign him. Doing that
correct.
with I want to see what he looks like with a new coach next year, though, like that's where I come to a sticking point, because we would re-sign him to a multi-year deal, presumably.
You can franchise tag him.
Yeah, that's fair. A strong possibility. I would say possibly the franchise tag. Give him at least one more year, if that. Because I was looking at the free agent pool. There's no premier guys going out in the market for that either. I think guard or tackle. And I'm thinking if depending on where the Bucs will draft, I would say maybe we may use a first round pick on drafting tackle. There's some guys in the draft that's going to come out. So
yeah, unfortunately, the top left tackle free agency in the NFL is Donovan Smith, which is
wow.
What does that tell you?
Wow.
So he's gonna get paid because someone's gonna need a left tackle, if it's us or somebody else. But I would, if I were the Buccaneers, and I mean, let's face it, there's probably more than likely, but going to be a new head coach now. If Jason Light, the new head coach, can't see eye to eye and they want to get rid of Donovan Smith or move him to the other side of the line next year, then that sort of solves itself. If they franchise tag him, like I said, I want to see him with the new coach. But if they franchise him and then get him a new coach and see what he does out there under somebody else in his ear, then that'd be my perfect storm of a situation for Donovan Smith, because left tackles, we always say it, they don't grow on trees. Like, replace them. Okay, with who? Like, I just said it. Like, hey, well, just go out and get somebody. Well, guess who the somebody is? It's Donovan Smith. Like, he's the number one guy. So, and then where we draft, you can go out and get a left tackle first round. Agreed, possibly. But I'd always like to have a backup plan, and so that would be what I would like to see happen with Donovan Smith. Like, I want somebody else in his ear before I give up on him, because they're just like top 10, top 5 left tackles just aren't walking around, man.
Exactly. They don't hit the market, just like the top QBs just don't hit the market. Like, it's a rarity. Even defensive ends, like look at Jason Pierre-Paul. I was surprised that we traded for him, back in the offseason. And I was like, wow, that was a splash.
Yeah.
Right, and we just got lucky because they switched, from a 4-3 to a 3-4. You can't do that on offense. You're gonna need
Yeah,
both your
exactly.
tackles.
Agreed.
We're going to go from a 5-man line to a 6-man line.
Do a 3-man line.
Yeah, that's how we roll. All right. Hey, Kevin, man, it's so good to hear your voice. It was actually really great to get to connect with you at a game earlier this year as well. But, buddy, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We're going to let some other people call in, okay?
All right. Hey, quick plug in. Make sure you get a chance to follow my staff and myself and the guys at All Things Buccaneers. I recently just put out another post for our impact players for this past game, and I'm going to write one for next week's season finale. So just tell them that it should be out either by Friday or Saturday if anybody wants to take a look.
There you go. All Things Buck. Is it All Things Bucks or allthingsbuccaneers.com?
Allthingsbuccaneers.com.
There you go. There you go. All right, Kevin, thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. You are on the line. Nope. Wait. There it is. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we have here tonight?
Kyle from Ohio.
Kyle from Ohio. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Kyle.
Hey. I kind of wanted to say, like, there's been sort of two things I've noticed about this season. The first season, it's been kind of the theme for the season has been kind of almost. Like, we've had a lot of close games where you actually thought that we would win. You know what I mean? Like those tough 3 to 5 point losses that we've had this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is, at the beginning of the year, I was all fire Jameis, trade him too. We can get fired Jameis. But the more and more, even the bad games that he's had, I think that we should keep him. I think he's improving every week, especially the last 4 out of 5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the hardest thing about Jameis Winston is that even if you're the biggest diehard Jameis Winston supporter, his progression still hasn't been fast enough for you. So as you start to, your backing of Jameis Winston starts to wane, then the progression, of course, gets more excruciating. But if you go back to his rookie year and you sort of track his stats, his completion percentage goes up. His interceptions, I think, are actually going to end up going down. He did miss some games, but even with those horrible couple of games when he first came back, his interceptions might end up going down. These are the only 2 fumbles. Both these fumbles were credits to him today. The one where he got hit from behind, and the Bobo Wilson, that was actually his. That's his only 2 fumbles that he's had this year. Last year, one of my biggest criticisms was he's loose in the pocket with the ball. He's fixed that. It looks like it's finally, hopefully, if it sticks, we'll see, because I think he's going to stick around. So we'll see at the beginning of next year if that turnover bugaboo or being careless with the ball comes back. But hopefully it doesn't. So it looks like he's finally got it through his head how careful he needs to be with the ball, and he can make all the throws. And I think he's making good decisions in this offense. So
Kyle, let me ask you a question talking about that. We had 2 fumbles today. Were either one of those on Jameis? I know stat-wise they're going to be, but I mean...
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But I feel like the last few weeks he's been running for his life, and any kind of inconsistency or any kind of like mistake like that, I mean, yeah, it's on him because he's the quarterback, but at the same time, the guy needs some help.
Agreed. And, these aren't like fumbles where he's like holding the ball over his head where he's getting sacked that we've seen in the past couple of years. Just like being really loose with the ball in the pocket, being one-handed and trying to like sort of stiff arm one guy to the ground and someone hits his arm and it falls out. These were the guy came directly from his, like right behind his blinds. Like there was no blind side. He came like directly at his back, didn't see him. What are there 32 starting quarterbacks? I think 31 of them fumble that. And the one that doesn't just gets lucky.
Yeah.
And the second one, it could have been, it was a little high, but I mean, to be honest, when I saw, and this is not really an excuse, but Bobo Wilson was running about as fast as anybody I've ever seen on that cross. Like the timing wasn't there. Like Jameis turned around and stuck it out, and Bobo was like banging into it. It was almost like they hit each other instead of like the ball being there and Bobo running into it. I think the timing was a little slow on that. So yes, it got credited to Jameis and it's his fault, but it's not like a normal careless fumble like we've seen. That one was just more bad luck. And the first one, you could say it's half his fault or 3/4 his fault.
Yeah, I mean, because when he got hit from behind, like he's holding the ball with that sticky glove hand, right? Like that's been part of how he's been able to protect the ball. Like he was transferring the ball to his throwing hand, like he was in that process, so that he could take it back and release it and let it go. So, uh, yeah, and you're right. The second one was a little bit high, on that pass off to Bobo, but I mean, Bobo still should have had I mean it wasn't just high, like it was past Bobo's torso as well, So but I mean I feel like Bobo should have been able to have that as well or see it,
Yeah, but it's got to be somebody's fault. It's
Sure.
like a car accident. It's like
right.
Both of you are to blame, but someone's getting the
Right.
ticket.
Well, that's going to be on Jameis, right? Because it's going to be on his stat line.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Cool, Kyle. Sorry, man. I was just as Ren was talking about that with Jameis. I just wanted to, discuss today's issues because I just really didn't think that they were much his fault.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to leave. I don't want to type the phone line too long, but I want to leave you with one other thought that I had, and that's with Jameis this year, I think like we worry about the fumbles, we're about the interceptions, but like the 4 games or whatever that he set out for his suspension, and then the 3 or 4 games, and then the games he sat out because Fitzpatrick was starting, I think that's really going to mold him into who he needs to be on the field. I think that's really going to show him that he needs to do the things that he needs to do, or he's not going to have a job. And I think that it's going to mature him a lot for next season.
I'm with you. I agree, man. I agree.
We could. All right, Kyle. Man, thank you so much for your call in tonight. And listen, we got one more of these shows this season, but we'll definitely be back next season as well. So hopefully we'll talk to you, if not next week, next season as well. All right?
For sure. Go
right,
Bucs.
Thanks, Kyle. Go Bucs. And hey, not just that, we'll be in and out through the off season, Ren.
We might do a call-in show here or there.
Yeah. Historically, we have. I think we've usually probably done about 2 or 3 over the course of the off season along the way. Usually one right after the draft. So, hey, look at that. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we got here tonight?
Oh, this is Christopher Oxentine from Overland Park, Kansas. How are you guys doing?
Chris Ox, what's up, buddy?
Can we call you?
Not much.
We need a nickname for you. I think we're gonna call you Oxy.
Oh yeah, no, just call me Ox. That's fine. That's what they called me in high school and in college football. Was I got called Ox, even though I wasn't the biggest dude.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm gonna disagree about Donovan Smith. I think that maybe some of that skill set is fine. I don't his lack of effort to me is just I don't know that you're going to coach that out of him. Maybe someone can. Maybe if you gave him to Dante Scarnecchia in New England, he could get something out of that. But I don't know. I think that, like you said, he's probably the top free agent left tackle that's going to be around, and so you might have to pay him like that. But I do believe in the draft there will be 2 left tackles that are top 10 worthy, the guy from Florida and the guy from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just say, look, here's what we'll do. We'll give you a team friendly deal if you want to remain here. And if you don't want to remain here, we've got enough bad tape on you to know that if we let you walk, that we could feel okay with that. The season sort of beaten me down a little bit on that. So it's 7 years in the last 10 years, the double-digit losses, and the same sort of stuff has been happening. But anyway, so I just that real quick. I don't know that I have anything else.
It's all right. No, I'm with you on the Donovan Smith, but if Donovan Smith played any other position on the offensive line, I would definitely be with you 100%. Even more like I don't care where he goes. Like if you want to re-sign him, okay, but it's got to be for like 20 or lower. Whatever the 20th, we'll say he's playing right guard. Whatever the 20th right guard in the league is making, it's got to be that or lower.
Yeah.
But what the problem
Yeah.
is, left tackles are really, really important,
Yeah.
and they're really, really hard to find.
Yeah.
Besides quarterback, that's the guy. That's the guy. The next guy you gotta find.
Well, the left the left tackle is the guy who makes. Isn't he like the second highest paid person on the team a lot of times or something like that?
I seriously.
Yeah, that or a defensive end or something like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
probably,
you got defensive
probably
end. It
defensive
matters
end,
who your wide receivers
tackle,
are,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
matters who your quarterback is, and matters
Sure.
who
Yeah.
like you have a corner that's getting paid a lot. There's a
Mhm.
lot of things that go into it. So
Something like
I'm
that.
gonna go
the only
no
reason
with that.
the only reason I'm really feeling cavalier about letting Donovan Smith hit the road is because of the two guys in the draft, and I feel like the Buccaneers are going to lose next week, and I don't think that we'll see quitting except for anybody from Brent Grimes, and that's only if they don't give him the Keyshawn Johnson treatment and just say, you know what, stay home. You and your lovely distinguished wife can enjoy your Sunday afternoon, and you don't have to show back up to the facility, and that's fine. We'll send you stuff. But
yeah,
I
don't
think
that
we're
going
to lose,
but,
and I still think that we'll be picking in the top 6, and I think that one of those two left tackles will still be there at number 6.
Yeah, I would
can,
definitely agree with that. They might both, like I put money that they both be there. But
that's
go ahead.
And that's the only reason that I'm like, well, you can get gone, Donovan. Just that reason. So
yeah, I feel you, but I'd rather use that pick for, we could be 6, we could be higher, all depends on what's going on. But like in a dream scenario, we got a shot at like being the second, like I think the second pick possibly. Look, I see 6 floating around, but like strength of schedule, if everyone else wins and we lose, like we might slide into the second spot. And now we have every single player in college football that's not named Nick Bosa. Like
and I think it's closer to 4 because the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the 49ers would definitely be ahead of us.
Okay.
No matter what happens next week.
Right.
So
that's just something that Jason Light or the new GM has to figure out. Like as they're going into this, like, do we go out and get a left tackle in free agency? Do we, sign Donovan Smith because you think that you need that top 10 cornerback or top 10 edge rusher or top 10 interior defensive lineman instead of doing on a left tackle. Now, left tackle is really important, and it's a stability position. It's just not going to make a lot of plays for you on the field. It's real hard to equate, and that's what you got to think. It's like basically after we've seen Villa play like these last 4 games, it's like, do you go out and get another Villa, or do you go out and get a guy that you're just going to be like, in 15 years you're putting him in the Ring of Honor because he,
Yes, and that's the guy you go get. That guy right there.
And I think that also, especially speaking about the interior defensive lineman and depending on where they pick, what does that play in to how you treat Joe McCoy? It'll all be interesting, but we don't need to worry about that until next Sunday night. So
there you go.
But, But anyway, I'll clear up the line here. You guys have a Merry Christmas and go Bucs.
Merry Christmas, Ox. You go Bucs
Merry
too. All right,
Christmas,
buddy.
Oxy.
Here's the thing about Donovan Smith, and this is my final piece. I would love to replace Donovan. I really would. But if they do it, or if they let him go, or they whatever, I need them to have a plan in place for what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, I feel that way about the Gerald McCoy issue as well. Like, if you're going to let them go, I'm okay with that. But I need you to know, or I need to know that you have, a plan. You sit there and you say, great, listen, we're going to get one of these guys in the draft. and they'll do what it takes to make sure that happens. Great. That's where I'm really okay with that, because I'm like, the logical part of my brain, Ren, is with you on the I'd still like to see what he can do under another coach. And Donovan Smith has the tools. We just haven't seen him put it together, which, you know, and he's
There's
going to
only
be.
two things he does wrong, but he continues to do them wrong.
Yeah.
He reaches too much, which isn't in itself, like, you could still be a top 10 tackle with all his other, athletic ability and skills that he has, with that being the problem. The
Mhm.
main problem is he just stops halfway through the play
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he will not play to the whistle.
Yeah.
He won't do it. He
Yeah.
won't do it. I don't know. I want to see this guy and talk to him and grab him by his face mask and pull him very close to me and ask him, what the F is your effing problem?
Ren, that's what a coach is supposed to do.
I know.
That's what a coach is supposed to do. That's what a
don't-
coach did to me. Grabbed me by my face mask, said, "What the fuck are you doing, son?" And dragged me around.
But we don't know if that's not happening or not. Like, we don't know if Warhop's doing it and Donovan's just still not doing it.
Oh, my coach did that to me on the sideline. Anyone.
No, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
but then you quit doing whatever he was telling you not to do.
Yeah.
But since we're not seeing Donovan not play to the whistle, we don't know if Warhop's continually telling him that, and Donovan's just refusing to do it.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see. Hey, you're on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we have here tonight?
What's up, guys? It's Chef.
Chef, what's up, buddy? I think
Chef
we missed
Aaron.
you a week or two ago.
Not too bad. I've taken the last couple of weeks off because I've basically mentally checked out with this team this year. So it's like, how many more times am I gonna rant rave about Dirk and how this offense get all the yards but no points, and how the missed opportunities just keep becoming missed opportunities.
Man, you should have a podcast and try to figure out what to talk about week after week. And when you run multiple shows every single week, what are we going to do different for this particular
This team
week?
will burn you out, man. They will
does.
burn you out.
It does. It does.
God.
I get it, man.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
So what you got for us,
it's what
man?
we call a Bucs life.
Yeah. Buck luck. What's your word there, Chef? Buck luck? Buck suck? Buck something?
Buck luck. Yeah. Buck luck. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Ren, or Chef, Ren. Chef, what you got for us this week, buddy? What's on your mind?
Nothing more than usual. Obviously, missed opportunities. Can't execute worth a damn undercutter. The defense looks. It's very shocking how the defense looks like the saving grace of this team now, rather than the offense. The last,
It is.
I'd say, month or so.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask. I mean, we saw Jameis get benched for his poor decisions and his mistakes and all that stuff. When the hell is the accountability gonna take place and have Donovan Smith and Caleb Bennock be benched? When the hell is that ever gonna happen?
Slow to change, Chef. You slow to change.
Not Donovan, but definitely Caleb. I don't. I mean, is Leonard Wester? I mean, could Leonard Wester step in and be better than Donovan?
Never know.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. See, these are the things that's so frustrating for fans, And we've been saying it for weeks about Beninock. Like, we watch Beninock play, we're like, how is it humanly possible that our third round draft pick is worse than that guy? Like, how is he not? First off, he wasn't active for half the year,
right?
And then when he was, it's like now he's not replacing him. It's like, what? How bad can that be?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the things. Even when I was pro Dirk, like, keep him because of his offense and he knows what he's doing and he protects his players and all that kind of stuff. His so slow to make a change, a personnel change that's not due to injury, is it's finally worn on me to the point where, like, I'm angry about it, because I've seen this now for 3 years, and you could always, like, okay, well, maybe this, like keep making excuses. But now
Yeah.
it's like, come on, man. It's like it's it's bad. It's bad coaching. It's bad player evaluation. Like
Mhm.
you have to, well, because you don't know, you have to trust him.
Yeah. And I'll
It's
tell you.
like I can't tell you Leonard Wester is going to play a better left tackle than Donovan Smith against the Cowboys. I
Mhm.
can't. I can't. It'd be real hard for it to be worse, though.
Yeah.
It'd be real hard.
I'm at this point with this coaching staff. I don't even think they know how to evaluate their players correctly. I mean, when you have a Doug Martin in there over Peyton Barber, when it was so clear as day Peyton Barber was the better option, that was a poor coaching evaluation. And now and this still just irritates the hell out of me. Washington Redskins, that game when we played them, they had a makeshift offensive line, had backups in there, and they brought in Jonathan Cooper off the street the week of, and he played better than Beninock, for Christ's sakes. How the player evaluation on this team is so piss poor. It's no wonder nobody can progress on this team.
I wonder if this is a something on the offensive line, aside from just George Warhop. This whole thing that they have about where they cross train their guys across the entire line. Like
I think that's
I'm
so
kind of
overrated.
sick of that. Like I understand the thought process behind that. I heard somebody say earlier this week that that Dirk Cutter believes that linemen should be interchangeable, which is why he keeps that like rotating thing going on all the time, and he never comes clean with why he does that. He's never ever actually told us why he does that, and we saw him do it today. I mean, Alex Kappa got in there for the last series, I think, of the first half, and I assume he probably got in there for the last series or two of the second half. Um, for whatever reason, he feels like these guys should just be interchangeable. What I really want is let's have our main guy and let's have a backup who is a specialist at each spot, even on the offensive line. And if that's part of what's taking so long for these guys to develop to get into where they need to be, then let's just focus them on one specific spot on the line and let them become a master at that rather than a jack of all of them.
Yeah, I think this coaching staff, the Dirk and Warhop, they're so obsessed with versatility that
Mhm.
they're trying to force like Beninock into a position that he's not natural at. They're trying to force this whole guard rotation, which, let's be real, no other team in the NFL does that other than us. That's the biggest problem whatsoever. When you have a guard rotation, if you have a guard rotation, that means either your coach sucks at evaluating his players or the players just suck in general.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, it's such a catch-22. You have to go with what actually makes sense. And right now, it's making sense that George Warhop does not know how to evaluate the players, and that's what happens with this whole guard rotation. Which, like I said, nobody with a brain, no coach with a brain inside their head would be this stupid enough to do a guard rotation not 1 year but 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like I don't mind coaches, I'll throw up the air quotes here, everybody, in case you can't see them. Quote, quote. Does something out of the box, even if it is silly as a guard rotation, but as long as it works. And like you said, this is now we almost have 32 games of this, and it doesn't. It hasn't. It's not working,
Mhm.
and it hasn't worked, and it's almost never worked, and it's like it's almost the stubbornness of Cutter and or Warhop about we're doing this because we've made up our mind at the beginning of the year this is the best way to go, and instead of evaluating it throughout the season, they're just going to roll with it and evaluate at the end of the season. It's just and it's so hard as a fan because you don't know, you're not in practice, you're not in the meetings, but we can all see that the right guard spot is a serious problem. Serious problem. And has been. And we've been saying it since like week 3.
Mhm.
After the first loss, it was kind of like, we're all euphoric. Doesn't matter what the defense does. Doesn't matter how many sacks we're giving up. Doesn't matter how, inaccurate Fitzpatrick is. Well, he wasn't, so that's not really fair. It doesn't matter. He threw 3 interceptions in a row on 3 plays against Pittsburgh. We're 2-1. And now all of a sudden we start to get back into what we're used to, like, losing 2, 3, 4 games in a row. That's when we start to nitpick at stuff, and it just stays the same. But you don't know if they're trying to address it. You don't know if they think it's a problem. You don't know if they know it's a problem. So it's just really hard to sort of point the finger and say, that's why you need to be fired, or that's why you don't know what you're doing. Because let's face it, I mean, these guys are at the top echelon of their profession.
Mm-hmm.
But the older you get, the more you meet people that are like in charge of things. You kind of get scared because you realize that they really, like, a lot of them really don't know what they're doing. Like they don't.
And that's what we get so pissed off as a fan base with. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are when it comes to the Glazers, but this is why we are in this 11-year abyss. They keep. I understand. Yeah, they throw out the money and all that stuff, and they pay coaches to leave. But in reality, they would be paying coaches to leave if they got the front office hires right and the coaching hires right. I'm now more lukewarm on Jason Light. I can go either way with him right now, but it seems like Light trusts the coaching staff way too much, and it seems like his evaluations on the scheme fit or just the players in general, I just feel like there's a disconnect between Light and Cutter and the coaching staff that it's basically like the whole entire situation is trying to fit a round peg in a square hole.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I really don't know where Jason Light and Dirk Cutter's like crossover in their duties begins and ends. Like, at what point does Jason Light just, have to step back and let Cutter go about his business and be the coach? Because otherwise Light would be the coach, you know? But I mean, we know that they
people like the coach.
Yeah, I mean, and same thing with the Glazers. I mean, it's if they're going to do that other person's job for them, then why hire that other person, right? So at some point you've got to let them do it. You've got to let them hang themselves or win. It kind of goes one way or the other, but yeah, I really don't know. I I think in general I'm on the keep Light, but I don't know. I mean, Ren, we've never really talked about this.
I don't even, like, this is an instant reaction show, so don't take this as gospel, so don't tweet at me, but I don't care. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to win, god damn it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you fire Light.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if you make a president of operations. I don't care if you sell the team. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, win 10 games one year. Like,
yeah.
Just go to the playoffs. Like, I don't care if our quarterback is from Jupiter and has 8 tentacles and is purple and can't wear pants and you have to see his butt crack the whole time. Like, I don't care. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Win a fucking football game.
10 of them.
And play with some effort, man.
Yeah.
Like, play with some effort. It's God, it was so frustrating to watch Grimes and Smith this week. It was so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Grimes actually had Zeke squared up, turned his shoulders, and started running parallel with him towards the goal line. And then when he actually had to make a play, he tackled him, and then he went out of the game. He goes, I'm hurt. He came back in to give up like a third down, gave up a first down on third down back when the Cowboys were backed up in their own 5-yard line. He came in for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh man, I don't know. I mean,
I can't believe that Light actually paid him $10 million when you could see that he didn't want to play in training camp. He didn't want to play at any part of the season. I mean, he does half-ass this season as Donovan Smith is, and this guy's being paid $10 million fucking dollars for this shit. I mean, Light, I don't know what the fuck Light was thinking on that one, but I mean, there was so many better options out there than Brent Grimes. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't go back and revisit that because I remember being pretty excited when they actually did get him to sign again, and I remember being very frustrated that Brent Grimes made them wait. If you remember that, right? Like Cutter told Grimes at the end of the season, "Hey, we want you back next year," and Grimes like dragged them along, you know. And we were like, "What's taking so long, Grimes? Make a decision. Let us know what you're doing." And I think didn't he go all the way to like past the free agency deadline or
I
like
don't
right up to it?
care.
But whatever. Like I just no, I'm with you, Ren. Let's just win a game. Hey, Chef, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, man. We're gonna clear this line out. All right.
All right, take care, Ren and Brent, and let's say it's a Bucs life.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
Thanks, Chef.
Yeah. Ren,
Yeah, man.
I think that's going to be our sign off for tonight. I don't care. Just win. Just win the game. Do what you got to do, people, and win a dang game.
It's just so frustrating because these games, it seems like game after game after game, year after year after year, there's not a lot of, well, at least it feels like, and now I think about it, there was a lot early year one of Cutter's first year of Chicago games, like this year's Chicago game,
Yeah.
where it's just over at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do it this year,
Yeah.
but the offense kept coming back and making it interesting. But it just seems like there's always, if you're pro Bucs, you're pro your guys, and you're pro your coaches, and you're pro your front office. And there always seems to be this yeah, but with everything is yeah, but.
Mm-hmm.
2 turnovers, yeah, but they both went for a score, technically.
Yeah.
It's like 2 fumbles, yeah, but they really both weren't his fault. $10 million to Brent Grimes, who checked out. Yeah, but, you can't really, you couldn't know he was going to do that at the beginning. All these yeah bets have got to add up. Like, I still don't know why Brent Grimes has been playing like the second half of the season. I'll even bump it up to that. Like,
I will agree with you
so
100%. 100% on that. This idea that we brought the guy in, we paid him money, so now we have to let him play, or he's the best corner on our team or the best whatever on our team, so he's going to play. But when you're not performing, you don't get to play. This is a production-based business, right?
But,
or at least it's
wait,
supposed
we
to
still
be.
got a chance to play. We still got a chance to playoffs, so you got to have your best guys out there. It's
Sometimes your best guys aren't your best guys.
Yeah, but man.
Yeah,
but.
but.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna subtitle this episode. Yeah, but because you're right. I mean, Ren, you and I have sat here so many times and gone, yeah, there's this, but this happened over here. Yeah, there's this, but here's how it kind of explains it there. And I've always said we never try to blow smoke up people's asses, but we do try to look at see what the bigger picture is. But you're right. At some point, and this is it. This is the some point.
I feel
none of that matters anymore.
You know how we ran out of yeah buts with Doug Martin?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Mike Smith.
I feel like I'm yeah but out for this whole, like, just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, individually I like some players, I like some coaches, I do like some front office. Like, individually I like these, but the whole sort of Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2018, it is 2018, right?
Still, yeah, for right now, for a couple more days.
I am just done. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I am done.
Yeah.
Like, you are not giving me what I am putting into you. And I'm not putting in a lot. Like, not anymore. Like, you're just like you're a black hole succubus of emotion and you give nothing back. You fucking suck. God, you're pissing me off. They're so mean to me. Why are they mean to us, Brett?
So, Ren, I got a question for you as we end today's show. How did we get here again? How do we do it? How do we get here again?
I have no idea. I don't know. We didn't have a hurricane this year. Oh, no, we had the suspension. And then now that Ryan Fitzpatrick actually did so well, That's a yeah, but put too much pressure on Jameis to sort of show everybody who's going to do, and he pushed and made all these turnovers. That put Fitzpatrick back in because that was stupid. You should have started you should have rolled with your quarterback. Yeah, but he was like the best player in the NFL after 2 weeks. He was the MVP of the league after 3. Yeah, but that's why you had to put him in. But then he became Ryan Fitzpatrick. But you should have started Jameis the Giants game.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Jameis wouldn't have learned anything because they just went right back to him. So you had to wait that week.
Hey, we have this high flying offense that's number 1 in the league. Yeah, but if we had a defense that was worth anything, we would have won. Or we get all these yards, yeah, but if we get it in the end zone, hey, by the way, speaking of that high flying offense, if you notice these last couple of weeks, high flying. All right, Ren.
That's true. But I thought that, we talked about that on the Final Thoughts show about Deshaun Jackson.
Yep.
And I thought his presence out there really helped, like, get those intermediate, like those windows they call them. I thought they could move the ball and throw the ball easier downfield with Jackson out there.
I have to agree with you. I really do. I even though we didn't really do much with Jackson, just his presence did help everything else on the field. So, and we'll dive more into that with our final thoughts. Ren, we got to talk. We need something's going to happen this week. I don't know how it's going to happen. Welcome to Christmas holiday weekend and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't remember it being this hard last year.
I think I remember every year so far that I've done this show getting to this part of the season and going, wow, there's a lot of other stuff, and I'm not sure how the podcast is going to work this particular week. And given where we are,
I got a podcast to do.
Yeah, sorry, family. Yeah, but it's Christmas Day. So, all right. Yeah, but you all should still be in bed. Let's go do a podcast. All right. Guys, listen, we'll have something coming out for you later this week. We'll talk more about
it out as soon as we get off the air here.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Buccaneers. Guys, we have one more week left of the season. Season is not over. We will be here with you guys. One more week to go, and then all hell, we may blow the whole damn thing up. Who knows? So, Ren, tell the folks out there where they can get a hold of you on the internet, buddy.
Best place to God, it got me so.
Yeah, but
you got me triggered. The best place to find me is at the bottom of the Sarlacc pit, which I like to call the 2018 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be down there. You probably just turn to your right or left because I know you fans are down there with me. With 10,000 years of slow digestion.
Yeah.
Anyway, find me on Twitter at Rendax, REN_DAXT. I am always down to talk Buccaneers football, but if you don't want to sort of put your opinion or your question out there on blast, my DMs are always open, and you can go ahead and ask me some questions, and I will talk to you in there as well, too. I'm trying to figure that out. That's going to be my as well, obviously as well, too.
If you guys want to get a hold of me, you can find me at Brent Allen Live across all the social medias, and you can find the show at the Pewtercast on Twitter and on Facebook. You can shoot us an email to thepewtercast@gmail.com. I'm going to go ahead and say, get those in by Tuesday if you'd like for us to read those on the show this week. We'll get to those certainly as well. We've actually already got a couple that have come in, which is kind of neat.
Those are happy.
Yeah. So with that, I'd like to thank all the people that are joined us tonight in the Mixler chat room, all the people that have joined us over in YouTube as well. You guys are awesome. And one big thank you out to our patrons who have helped make all of this happen. You guys are rocking. And if you want to find out more about that, go over to patreon.com/thepewtercast. I owe those people over there a few things. We're going to get that taken care of here very, very soon as well. So with that, Ren, we'll close out the show as always. Go Bucs.